Clubs don't ignore your email as an agent because they are busy. They are ignoring them because you have given them no reason to do that. Everyday sporting directors receive thousands of emails from various agents around the world telling them how good their players are. These emails have no context, no credibility, no trust, and yours is not different. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down why 99% of emails get rejected by sporting directors and how you can fix that. The first thing I'll be looking at is you are a stranger first. Remember that. And you have no credibility and no trust. And you're asking for attention plus money. I'll break this down. When I talk, you're asking for attention plus money. Clubs, if they want to invest in your player, which means they're also spending money from the club. And a sporting director doesn't want to bear that risk for a stranger spending lots of money and risking the money from a club, not knowing how it's going to work. So they have to always feel the trust from an agent before taking such move. Your relationship also with the sporting director is a massive thing. You have no credibility and relationship, and how do you expect the sporting director to reply? This is quite difficult for the sporting director because he doesn't know anything about you. So it's the easiest way to just blank your email and don't reply. And I always say this, that if a club replies to your email, then which means there's never money involved, totally involved, because mostly clubs don't do deals by emails with people who are strangers. No matter how you are, if you write a random email, you're just as many as the other agents spamming sporting directors. So the first thing to fix this is you have to find a way to build that trust and try to communicate with them, build that credibility. Go watch their games, look at what they are doing. So, and then you build that relationship with sporting director. Because if a sporting director invests on your player, know that they're investing the club money on you, which is quite difficult for them to recoup that money if they make a mistake, and they are also risking their job. So that's the first thing. The next thing we'll be looking at is your email looks like spam. Long paragraph, no structure, no professionality written in it. So this is how your email looks like. Most of the time when new agents or agents send messages to emails to sporting directors or head of recruitment, they just say, hello, my name is this. I have this player. It's a striker who scored 30 goals last season. He will be good for you. And then if you're interested in this kind of player, please, here is his highlight video. And then they send the email. No one opens those kind of messages because sporting director receive thousands of those kind of messages. So if you're to write an email, even after building trust with the sporting director, this is how it goes. You send a very clear topic, be professional and concise. Try to be precise to what you're saying. Don't write too many long paragraphs because they don't have time in reading those things. Be precise and get your email across as quick as possible. Try to write anything, your email, as short as possible, but be precise. Okay, that's very important. Okay, the third thing we'll be looking at here, or the next thing, is your players what? You said your player scored, let's take for example, you said your player has scored 22 goals and you have no stats, no data to back that up. Normally, when you send certain information to sporting director, you have to have data to back that up. What do I mean by that? So you have to have data that shows his key passes or his key, everything talking about that player, how good he is, how he plays forward. Bring all those stats, go and talk with people who produce that, or talk with people with the data team of his former club. Try to get those stats if you can, because this is something that involves millions. So if you can back always those data by what you say, or those stats by what you say in your email, on your email, that is quite good. Okay, the next thing is you're pitching the wrong player to the wrong club. For example, you send a fifth division player to an elite club, and you're giving him his stats. Normally, in those cases, they are always rare for someone to leave a fifth division and go right to the top. You have to climb up the ladder. Of course, there are those rare cases, but majority of the time, it's rare. So, for your player, if your player is that good, you have to take steps to go there. You cannot just leave from a fifth division. If a player scores, let's say, 30 goals for a fifth division club, his natural progression should be the next level. Don't carry him from the fifth division club to an elite level club. it doesn't work like that. He has to go certain level. He has to go levels up before he arrives at that level. So that's something that agents you also need to be careful of, not pitching the wrong player to the wrong club. The next thing we'll look at here is your visibility. A lot of agents send emails without also building their credibility in the industry. So to always start that, also face-to-face connection is one of the best way I always use. So you have to go to clubs and speak to them and build that trust. If you don't have enough visibility, sending emails it's always the most challenging part. So work on that also, your visibility, that before you are sending an email to someone or a sporting director or head of recruitment, scouts, whosoever is in charge of the email, make sure you have these things put together. Make sure you can go to the club first if you have a chance, and try to build that visibility. It's quite important that you start your connection always with face to face, because face to face build more trust. They see you, and that connection can already be felt. You know, when you're talking with someone and you get that feeling that, okay, this person is real, this person is not fake. So that's what face-to-face connection brings. So if you have a chance to build your visibility through face-to-face connection, then that's a big plus for you. Next, one thing I always say is value. As an agent, your first thing you have to do is provide value. You cannot you cannot always talk to a club without providing value. The first thing I always ask agents to do is always ask yourself, what value am I providing for these clubs? If you want to always get or be heard, provide value. That's the most important thing. If you cannot, you are trying to ask your players to be taken by a club, but yet you're not providing value. It almost seems as if you're begging. So providing value is the most important way, or the best way for you to always build yourself, your network in this industry. So also that's one thing you have to also pay attention to when you're talking to a club. What value am I providing, or how can I be of help to them? Always look at it the other way around. Don't always look at it in your own side, thinking that you you want your players to be given to or to be sold to that club. So first, ask yourself, what value am I providing, or what value can I provide? Then you're always going to solve things, because clubs need people who solve their problems also as well. Same like you, but always try to talk about the club first. Then things are going to move easier, or in the right direction. So finally, I would say most agents fail because they don't know all these aspects or all these things I've spoken about. So if you want to become a better agent or a successful one, you need to learn how to network and do these things properly. I'm Gaucho Brian, FIFA licensed agent living in Finland. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you're old, thanks for coming back. I do have licensed agents build connection with football clubs so that they can place their players. If you're struggling with this, then check one of my links below and get in contact with me. You can book a mentorship call and I will be right there with you. Okay? Take care and bye for now. Cheers.